A Texas inmate convicted in a pair of murders he claims he didn't commit is running out of options, as his execution is set for Wednesday evening, and his most recent attempts to delay it have been rejected as his supporters point to new evidence they say back his claim, and as the case has caught the attention of local politicians and celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Martin Sheen. Ivan Cantu was convicted of murder in 2001 after he was charged with killing his cousin James Mugler and his cousin's fiancée Amy Kitchen in the Dallas area while trying to acquire drugs, though Cantu has maintained his innocence, telling like he believes he was framed after Mugler and Kitchen were killed by a rival drug dealer. The state's case relied on claims of clothes found in Cantu's apartment with blood matching the DNA of the victim and witness testimony from Cantu's then-girlfriend, Amy Boucher, and her brother, Jeff Boucher, who both testified of having knowledge of the murders. And in 2005, one of Cantu's trial attorneys signed an affidavit claiming Cantu privately admitted to the murder at the time to the Associated Press. The case has since gained renewed public attention, in large part due to the podcast created in 2023 by private investigator Matt Duff, who has amassed evidence doubting the official story, and in a recent YouTube video, "There is reasonable doubt in this case," supporters have launched and to stave off Cantu's, pointing out inconsistency in the testimony of Amy Boucher, who has since died, arguing Cantu had inefficient defense counsel and arguing suggests Cantu was framed. Last spring, those efforts gained momentum when a Texas judge delayed his execution date, then set for April, after Jeff Boucher admitted in court documents that he lied when he testified that Cantu told him about the murders in advance and when he asked Boucher to help clean up the crime scene. But the victory was short-lived, and this week, Cantu's options grew limited with his execution set for later Wednesday evening. The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles rejected his request to reduce his death penalty to a lower sentence, and they rejected his call for a delayed execution without reviewing the merits. Cantu has gained some influential followers and supporters. Multiple jurors from the original case have since questioned the validity of the conviction. Actor Martin Sheen and anti-death penalty advocate Sister Helen Pregin have for a review of the case, and Kim Kardashian, who has for defendants who say they were wrongfully convicted, is calls for Gov. Greg Abbott to issue a last-ditch reprieve of the execution for 30 days. Forbes has contacted Abbott's office for comment on whether Abbott might intervene, but has not yet received a response. Kim Kardashian will do just about anything for the sake of fashion, including cinching her waist to tiny proportions. This week, the reality star took to Instagram to share a behind-the-scenes look at her dressing practices, specifically a vintage Avery corset that nearly disappeared her entire waist. The Skims founder has always been a major proponent of shapewear, but this specific piece was plucked from Thierry Mugler's spring 1998 couture collection and designed in collaboration with Mugler's longtime corset collaborator Mr. Pearl. The piece featured the label's signature bone detailing, which helped to cinch the influencer's already tiny waist, and 3D details along the sides which created the illusion of padded hips. Like many of Mugler's couture pieces, this corset finished off with a plunging neckline and a dramatic lace-up feature at the back. It's no secret Kardashian is a major vintage head, much like her stepsisters Kendall and Kylie, but the mogul has taken a special liking to Mugler's 90s creations over the years. In fact, the star must have a special preference for this particular runway show she wore a daring 2 years ago, which just so happened to be featured in the same 1998 collection as her corset. The connection between Kardashian and Mugler makes sense, given the body-hugging overlap between the star's personal style and the French brand's innovative archival looks. She nearly broke the internet for a second time in 2019 by wearing a beaded latex stunner to the After All. The bridal white corset was shown on the runway with a hooded, floor-sweeping coat and PVC heels. Kardashian opted to wear the look solo, though judging by the rack of gems behind her, we'd assume she intended on layering this corset underneath some sort of statement gown. Mugler Kardashian simply captioned the photos alongside a swan emoji, "Yes, Kim, Mugler." While most stars might reserve such archival keepsakes for, say, a red carpet or gala, it seems as though Kardashian was merely snapping a few photos in between fittings. The Skims mogul has been noticeably absent from Fashion Month proceedings thus far, but there's still plenty of her favorite brands Victoria Beckham, Balenciaga, and yes, Mugler still to present this week in Paris. We'll keep an eye on if she decides to debut anything else from her staggering Mugler archive.